There are 44 original seals. Now, when the Temple of Jerusalem was destroyed by the Babylonians, the Jews were forced to spread out into the known world. This we know. So they had to take their temple knowledge with them. And a lot of their knowledge would have been lost if they didn't pass it down orally. So I'm going to just briefly explain the tree of life, okay, really quickly with you guys. So, in the beginning, it says, in the book of Isaiah, called the Ketuvim, the book of the prophets, it says, the Lord declares, I form light and create darkness. This is the Lord. I make peace and create evil. Kabbalists have interpreted this to mean light and peace were already part of the divinity, but darkness and evil were not, and that the fundamental creative act was a withdrawal of God to make the possibility of distinction, of separation and definition. This paralleled the book of Genesis when it says God creates light, separates light from darkness. Now, God's powers here, as he separates, he continues to form density until, of course, the physical earth called Malkut is created. So these are planets, planetary energies. Everyone, all priests knew this knowledge. It was passed down for centuries. The Kabbalists preserved a lot of the knowledge in a place called Safed, Israel. During the Renaissance and Inquisition, the Christians wanted to, of course, kill a lot of the Jews, so they were always forced to fled. Back and forth between Israel, Palestine, and Europe. Jews were always on the go. Okay, even from the time of the awful Holocaust, and even before that, Jews were always fleeing. Around 1202, a man who's actually credited to creating this book, Rabbi Ebenezer, translates the seals for the first time, and the 44 original seals found in this book are here, so you can look at this book. And what's interesting is, even if you look at tarot cards, right? If you guys are familiar with tarot cards, right? You look at the Wheel of Fortune card. It's actually a seal, if you look at it. This is the perfusion seal, which is sold today. This is called the first pentacle of Jupiter. What's interesting is Jupiter is the planet of riches. So this is the perfusion seal right on the Wheel of Fortune card. There you have it. Of course, after Solomon controlled the demons, the ring was lost in time. Legends state that who knows what happened to the rings. People continued to construct rings in that replication, but the original ring was lost. On the cover of your sheets, you have the original ring. That's how it looked. And it represented, why there are 6 points, it represents the major planets which are used to construct the rings, okay? So you have the father and mother here and here. From Keter to Yesod, here, you have 6 points here. It's the power of man, right here. So that's why it's a 6-pointed star. And of course, the 6-pointed star represents the father and mother. So you have God the Mother and God the Father together. 6 points. So how to create these sephiras, or how to create these rings, these seals. It is said that God created the universe with 72 names found in the book of Exodus, Exodus, Gods and Kings. You saw that one with Christian Bale. So when God is parting the waters in the book of Exodus, he says there is a stanza which, when reorganized, creates the 72 names of God. These here are actually the angels that are kept within each of the sephiras in density, broken down into density here. Forming the first world is the world of fire, then you have the world of water, then the world of air, and the world of earth. Okay? That's why the angels come in different different color spectrums, because each of the seals comes from each of the colors of God's power. So 44 again. I found some research online talking about King Solomon and how it was impossible to move those stones. It says, combining various geometric astrological combinations of Hebrew, Latin, and Greek, because it was already translated, these symbols emphasize the harmony of both heavenly and earthly domains and are used to assist people in their personal lives. So the seals obviously are helped for everything from the evil eye to gaining riches. You can use them, it doesn't matter. The main seals, which are carried here, have God's divine names. Okay, there are 5 divine names which are centered in the middle of God's power. The first name is Ehyeh, which is the I am that I am presence. When Moses went to the burning bush, the first name that appeared was Anochi Adonai, Ehyeh Ashur Ehyeh, meaning I am your God, I am that I am. The second name is the name of God, the female version of God, Yod-He Vav-He Elohim. Here you have the God of Tiferet, God's beauty, Yod-He Vav-He Eloha V'da'at. God's foundation, or God's sexuality, revealed in God's 9th emanation, Shaddai El Chai. Chai means life. And finally you have Adonai Haaretz, which is God of the earth, or Lord of earth. So when you have the major seals with these names, they're even more potent because they have God's definitive names, his balanced names. God has different names. He has 10 different names here, okay, on this point of the tree. 10 different names. You have El, Yah. You have the Ehyeh here, El, Yah. You have the Adonai Haaretz. I told you this one already. You have Elohim Gibor. You have Yod-He Vav-He Netzach. You have Elohim of Hod. You have different names of God, basically, and they would be placed on each of the seals in the correct color with the correct angel that governs the emanation of God's power, because it's a lot of light, so you need a grounding factor to help keep it in play, because the energies are very, very powerful. Even today, if you were to perform certain ceremonies, you would encase yourself in a protective circle. These rituals all come from the ancient Hebrew schools of thought as well. Because if you do not create an outer layer, the energies will be too much to handle. It's said that God cannot come down in physical form because we would all die, actually. God relies on the angels to send us messages, sort of like a network system, right? So that's why the angel seals are inscribed here, to keep that energy downwards. Because it's like, if God's energy would come down, it would split everyone's nucleus.